It's definitely like the maddest thing of all time to just, go on stage and expose yourself 360 degrees. Is it possible that in music production, guys are actually better than girls? And my brain couldn't really grasp that thought. So I decided that I had to prove that wrong. I've always been asked the question, like, who is your audience? And I've always laughed at this question. You have to just speak from your heart, with your heart, to anybody who wants that emotion, to anyone who feels, who connects, who, vibrates with whether the message, the melody. I love writing music because I love writing beautiful melodies.
This guest that you're about to hear from today has impacted so many with her energy, with her lyrics, with the way she is as a human being. Definitely impacted me as a blue-eyed Saudi kid from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. It was just crazy how I got impacted in many ways. So, without further ado, you're going to hear a conversation right now on afikra platform. Doing this interview going to be Tanya Khoury. Give her a big round of applause. Tanya, legendary, of course. She's going to be having a chat. I can see her right now, which is amazing. Oh my God. يا أهلا وسهلا من تونس الخضراء أمل مثلوثي. تحية كبيرة لأمل. Come on, you guys, give them a big round of applause. الله يحميك. That's true. Tanya, good luck. يعطيك ألف عافية. But they still deserve a big round of applause. Come on, we need the hype. This is going to be a good conversation. الله يحميك يا أختي. من تونس للعالم. I cannot wait to see you obviously perform tonight, and I cannot wait for this conversation. I know Tanya asked the best questions.
No pressure, no pressure.
Yeah, Have a seat. Give them a big one applause, you guys. Make some noise.
Welcome to this live edition of Afikra Podcasts, everybody, in Quoz Arts Festival. My name's Tanya Khoury. It's my absolute pleasure to welcome Emel Mathlouthi, amazing singer, songwriter, performer, wonderful, wonderful person. أهلا وسهلا Emel.
Hi, you guys. You got me too emotional now.
Well, I have a bunch of questions, so get ready.
Thank you.
Emel, I want to first and foremost talk about your performances in general. I know you've been in back-to-back performances all over the world, and in every performance, and I've seen you on stage twice already, and it's very, very powerful. I just want to know your process and how you're able to radiate this incredible energy to the crowd. How do you prepare? How do you consistently deliver performance after performance? What are your...
It's actually a very interesting question because we don't usually get asked how we get prepared, and it's definitely like the maddest thing of all time to just, go on stage and expose yourself 360 degrees. And in my case, I only function with my heart and my emotions. Everything is raw. And to me, like, art and music are about being yourself and being connected to the others.
Absolutely.
Like, we're completely in this like loop of, taking from each other and giving each other. And I think that's what fuels me the most when I'm about to go on stage.
Absolutely, and you feel it from your performances, which are amazing.
Thank you.
I want to talk about your latest album, Mar'a, and the fact that it's all female encompassing in terms of artists, producers, etc. And every track of it is a story. Can you talk us through this album in particular? لأنه every song is just more powerful than the other. If you can just give the crowd a glimpse.
So when I was about to start working on this album, I was talking with my label, and they wanted me to work with this guy, and I didn't really feel connected. I didn't really feel that he understood me. And then I just asked myself, like, why does it always have to be a guy? And it's always a guy. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but like, as a woman, I started thinking, like, is it possible that in music production, guys are actually better than girls, and my brain couldn't really grasp that thought. So I decided that I had to prove that wrong, and just like try to break the cycle and give more opportunities to girls and women. And also, like, for girls, it's very important as you're growing up to just dream of anything and not just like, okay, I want to be a singer. Like, girls have to start, like, I want to be a sound engineer, I want to be a music producer, you know? Yeah. And that's when I started, I went to look for women that were producers and technicians, arrangers, and the process was so hard that at the same time I was really frustrated, but I got more stubborn. So eventually I succeeded in getting a few of us together. And the process of working with women in the studio is different. I really felt that there was like a sisterhood energy, really beautiful and powerful. I felt that I was never this much supported in every crazy idea that I had.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So, and also like the general idea of the album is to bring healing through women. So we got together and we tried to break the cycle of like male domination in the music industry, but at the same time to create a virtuous circle where we can all get together and like share the space equally. And so every song is a real story of people who suffered visible and invisible violence.
Incredible. Please check out the album. It's absolutely astounding. I want to talk about, again, back to performances and places. I saw one of your videos where you did the tarwide in a church, and it was really, really, really powerful. And I want to ask you about your performances in different places all around the world. And I remember you did a performance in Baghdad years and years ago. And I just want to understand from your perspective how these performances and the places, you know, what the inspiration that comes through that and the energy that you exude from it.
It's actually quite simple because growing up in Tunisia, I grew up listening to Beethoven and Vivaldi and Fayrouz and Sheikh Imam. And then when I went to school, I started listening to metal music. And then eventually, it was Celine Dion first. And then, and then one of my friends thought that wasn't cool, so she got me into metal, and thank God. And eventually I went back to the 60s and Pink Floyd, Janis Joplin, John Lennon. And I just kept traveling from one genre to another, from one kind of music to another. And I feel like it's so normal in Tunisia. I used to perform these shows where I would do a lot of covers. So I would cover Pink Floyd and then Mylène Farmer. And then, and then, you know, totally random. And when I moved to Paris to start my career, I was so shocked that, as an artist, you had to pick your lane, and it wasn't normal for me. So I've always been very curious of other cultures, and I think it's the basics of being human. There's so many different cultures that are really beautiful, so many people that are really beautiful, so many parts in the world. And I think my best way of connecting is to go towards these cultures. So I learned a lot of songs, like a song from Serbia, from Greece, from Spain, and I sang in German, and I just started piling up all these references. And I feel it's the most amazing thing in the world to be able to go and meet people and perform for them and exchange cultures. Yeah. I just don't see art or music any different way.
Which is, perfect. We were speaking earlier, and I said I was going to bring it up, about the eye and the obsession with the eye. Can you give us a little insight on why you're not wearing any eyes today?
I'm wearing one right here. we were talking because she has a small obsession about Palestine.
Just
with, like
this small.
every single symbol from Palestine. And I talked to her and I told her like I had some kind of obsession with eyes. Well, the most simple thing is that in our culture, the eye is a symbol of protection against the evil eye. And I think it's important to find something spiritual and just like, I think we need protection. We need to protect even ourselves from ourselves. And just like having the eye is also like keeps me rooted with my culture, with my identity. So it's like just a little, because I'm always like floating in between different spaces and different cultures. So yeah, the eye just always connects me to where I come from.
Amazing. I want to ask you about children and your kids and how you, throughout your career, and how you inspire people from different ages, and what your message is to younger kids that are starting to follow you now and really get inspired by music, and just really different age groups, and how that transcends with your family.
It's very interesting when I look sometimes at my numbers and I see that there's a big chunk of people from 13 to like 25 that are like really into what I do. Not that, you know, like as artists we want to stay relevant. I think I've always been asked the question like, who is your audience? Like, who are you trying to talk to? And I've always laughed at this question. I've always found it like stupid, because as a musician, maybe I'm the stupid one, but anyways, this is how I feel
Hardly,
it. I feel that like you have to just speak from your heart, with your heart, to anybody who wants that emotion, to anyone who feels, who connects, who vibrates with whether the message, the melody. I love writing music because I love writing beautiful melodies. And to me, like a beautiful melody should be strong enough to bring everyone together, wherever they're from, wherever they think, whatever kind of music they're into, no matter how old they are. So, and I feel particularly proud when I see the new generations connecting with what I do, because I've always thought about art and music as a complete experience. It's not just the words, it's not just the melodies, not just the rhythms. It's like the visuals. It's like just a full experience. Yeah. And from that standpoint, I feel that anyone should be drawn into a complete artistic experience. And
age shouldn't
my
be,
daughter doesn't like my music so much. Unfortunately, and I have to admit, like, I do feel...
It hurts a little.
Well, I'd be like, so, what do you think? And she's like, I don't want to hurt your feelings. So she does that effort of not really hurting my feelings. So when she does, actually, my latest album, as it was going through mix, I started playing it in the car, and I saw that she was vibing with a few of the songs, and I was like, yes.
Amazing. I know you've collaborated with incredible artists, in specific your latest album. Are there any artists that you are very inspired from and would love to collaborate with in the future, or that bring inspiration to you from like when you're doing a project? Are there any particular artists that you alive or not, or?
Yeah, absolutely. I was, for a long time, I was inspired, and still am, by Kanye West. I feel there's not many artists in the world that do the 360 degrees thing I was talking about. I feel that Kanye, in his music, he doesn't, there are no limits. Like, he could put like a gospel choir with a heavy rap beat, with some like ethnic melody from I don't know where. He just like goes in and out of different genres, different different compositions. And the last artist that kind of did that was Michael Jackson. And there's depth, there's a lot of you enjoy, you vibe with the music, but also it has a lot of depth, and it's very emotional, and that's what I look up to when I do what I do.
Amazing, amazing. We're really looking forward to your performance tonight. Any little insights you want to give the crowd? What are we expecting? What do we expect tonight?
A lot of depth. We're gonna be performing a lot of the new album, but we're also gonna be kind of drawing a little story, and we're gonna start from the beginnings. There's the song that I always start my shows with. It's a Marcel Khalifa song, but I just love where we took it.
Yeah.
With all modesty, I think we did a really amazing job with the arrangements, and it really I like that connection with Lebanon because of everything that's been going on lately. I love paying that tribute. And then there's gonna be songs from my earliest songs, from the middle, some songs that people really love, and a lot of surprises. And I don't know if it's gonna be we're gonna be dancing, playing dancing stuff. So you can party, but you can party with a lot of emotion.
Amazing. We're really, really looking forward to your performance. Last thing I want to ask, maybe if I have more time for a few more questions. Anything you're reading right now that is... Anything that you're reading? Are you reading anything?
Yeah, I am reading. It's a good question because sometimes I'm not reading anything and it's awful. And I think we should constantly be reading because there's so much. To me, the most noble form of art is literature. And it's just that connects us deeply with history. At least in the literature that, it's the most beautiful trace that anyone can leave behind.
Absolutely.
That's what Picasso was talking about. So I'm reading right now a book from Siri Hafstad.
Okay.
She's a very famous author worldwide. This is the first time I'm reading her, and it tells the story of this very interesting raw visual artist in New York, seen in the 80s. Okay. So I live in New York, and I'm a huge fan of the city, and I always like to explore the oldest eras in New York.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Emel. It's been an incredible conversation. Give it up for Emel. Isn't she amazing? Thank you so much.
Thank you.